Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video that has been very requested by you guys, and that is sharing my listing presentation. First of all, I just want to say I don't have a listing presentation. I never have had a formal presentation, if that makes sense. There are a few things, a few points that I always try to make to sellers that I think help win the listing. And so I'm going to share those with you guys. So if you've been watching my channel for a while at all, you know I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of using like super strict word for word scripts, because I know I just pulled my hair there, because I know every person is different. Every seller is different, and every circumstance for each seller is different, which is why I don't think that one presentation is going to work for everyone. So I wrote down in my notes a few things to share with you guys, a few points I wanted to touch on. So a few things that I always do when I'm meeting with sellers for the first time is I always let them know what I will be doing for them as far as marketing goes. I want to portray myself as a marketing expert, because I believe that's what I am, and that's what all realtors are, or at least should be. So I let them know some statistics. A couple of those, I've shared this in a previous video, but I'll just repeat it. A couple of those are, one of the statistics is how buyers shop for a home. And the number one way that buyers shop for a home is online. So I let them know, hey, like we put your home on over 1,000 different websites nationwide. So that's huge. That's the number one way that buyers shop for a home. And then the second highest way that buyers shop for a home is through a realtor, which is something that I really tell for sell by owners. And I think that my listing presentation, it changes. My listing presentation is different. It's a little different when I give it to a for sell by owner versus if I don't. And I will say, like, when I meet with for sell by owners, it's a lot harder than meeting with people who aren't for sell by owners. When I meet with sellers who are not for sell by owners to give them a listing presentation, it is like a breath of fresh air, because they're so much easier to win over, and I don't even have to like touch on a lot of the things that I do have to touch on with for sell by owners. I always let them know the second highest way that a buyer shops for a home is through a realtor, which is why it's so important to list your home with a realtor, not sell on your own, because if it's not listed, then the buyers aren't even going to see it as an option. I let them know we use a wide variety of marketing, everything from print advertising to open houses. I will door knock around their listing when I do open houses, inviting people, and really just let them know that I will go above and beyond for them and do everything that it takes to get their home exposed to every single qualified buyer on the market. So that isn't everything I say. Those are just a few things just to give you guys an idea. And then the second thing that I always get across to sellers is the commission. I always explain to them why we're a 6% company and why we charge 6% instead of discounting it, because there's so many realtors that are discounting it nowadays. And I just let them know that the reason that we do is because we give 3%, half of that commission, to the buyer's agent. And the reason why that is actually going to benefit the seller is because, you know, there are some realtors out there who, if there is a list of homes that their buyer wants to see, and say, you know, 2 of those homes have really low commissions for the buyer's agent, then they're not even going to show the buyers those homes. They're going to leave them out if they can. And I know that sounds like so messed up to say, because that's wrong. And if you're working with a buyer, you should show them every single thing on the market that fits their needs, because it's important. And also just, I mean, the higher you can pay the buyer's agent, the more of an incentive it is for them to come and bring their buyers to your home. So that is something that I always tell sellers why it benefits them that we charge 6%. And there are other reasons too, but that's all I'm going to say for now. And then something else, a third thing that I just started doing that I wish I would have done sooner is explain to the sellers that I'm not available 24/7. So I always ask them, how often do you prefer to be updated? And everyone's different. Some people say text, some people want a phone call, some people want an email. And then I ask them, like I said, how often do you want to be updated? Because with updates on your home, because some people want to know every little thing. They're really anxious and they want an update all the time. And then there's other people who are like, just let me know when it sells, and they're really laid back and easy to work with. So I always want to know their expectations, what they expect of me, and then I let them know what to expect of me too. I let them know, like, hey, I don't necessarily have business hours. I will work after hours and on weekends. I don't mind. Even if it's a day that I'm taking off, like a day off, I will still have my phone on. But every once in a while, I do turn my phone off because I need a break too. And you will go crazy if you don't. And sometimes I do leave my phone at home, or I will turn it on airplane mode if I don't want any calls. But I do let them know, if it's an emergency, text me and tell me what's going on. And on my day off, I will still respond to you if it's an emergency. But if not, then you probably won't hear from me. But letting them know that you're not available 24/7 is really important, because I've had sellers who, if I go an hour without getting back to them, they start freaking out because, they're anxious. It can be a stressful process. So really just setting expectations, asking them what they expect of you, letting them know what to expect of you. That kind of thing is really important. So I hope someone grabbed some value out of this. The question of the day is, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys do for your listing presentation? Like, what things do you always say? What points do you always want to make to your sellers? If you have any tips to add, I would love to hear them in the comments below. If you're a realtor in another state and have a client relocating to Oregon, send them my way. I would love to give you a referral fee. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.